Hi, this is Jorge Dixon
Along with how we doing?
on WNTT, coming to you across the nation, talking about the Sim Sports bracketology show. We're going to start out with the Northeastern bracket. First off, I think we can all be honest. Shreveport is going to dominate. Um, they're just too dang good. Still undefeated, 18-0. I don't see them losing the first round. Anything else you guys say, Howie?
Thing is, Jorge, Lubbock's a good team. They've showed some potential this year. They showed they can win. When they played Shreveport in the regular season, they lost 69-85. I just don't see it happening. Jason Robinson's going to dominate this game.
All right, well, we're going to get to feature game A, which is the 8-9 matchup. Really excited for this one, Howie. And, yeah, what are you thinking?
I'm extremely excited for this matchup, Jorge. Carson City's returning 4 of the 5 starters from their Final Four season 2 years ago. The tournament experience for this team is extremely high, and the one guy who's filling in the spot is Jamie Reddy, and this guy is the leading scorer on the team. Both these teams are going to be interesting to see because they both play a very defensive mentality. So, what do you think?
I'm going to have to go with Wichita here. Jose Reeder's little brother. He's just too dang good. Carlos Reeder is, tearing it up on the glass and just playing great defense. Yeah, I think that Wichita's going to really pose some tough threats to Carson City. And, yeah, I just don't think that Carson City can pull it off.
I agree with you, though. I think in the end it's going to be Wichita. I think the duo of Edward Miller and Maxwell Burton are really going to take advantage of their matchups. Sebastian Stern's going to struggle on defense. He's a 6'6" small forward for Carson City. Miller and Burton are both juniors at 6'10". They're really going to be able to exploit the height advantage in the defense of Carson City, and they're going to pull it out.
All right, we're going to move on to our next matchup, which is, let's see here. Little Rock against St. Pete. This should be a good matchup. What do you think?
I don't think it's that exciting to me. It's not really a matchup that really gets me going. I feel like Delbert Felker for Little Rock is going to be the difference in this game. He's a prolific scorer. He'll be able to just exploit that defense of St. Petersburg, who really they're a team that's good. They win games, but I just don't see him winning a game that counts here. And it doesn't really matter to me anyway because I think Cambridge is going to take the winner of this one.
Yeah, same here. I know it seems boring, but yeah, St. Pete, no real good wins, and Cambridge passed with flying colors.
What do you think about Cambridge, Coach?
Cambridge is great. I'm a little jealous, honestly, because I feel like they have every single one of my players that I've ever recruited, from David Woodward to Philip Salisbury to even Jeff Worthy last year. Just a great team. They know how to win. Just all-around great team,
I think they're going to take care of business.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're a Sweet 16 team, if not further than that. Phil Salisbury is a great player.
All right. Very dumb, though, if I may add.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
So, I love this matchup between Allentown and Trenton right now. If you look at the stats for the Deadeyes, Cam Crumpler is the only player in double digits, and he's only averaging just over 11 points per game. Really? Like, seriously? A team it's a 3 seed in the NTT has one player with 11 points per game. All other players are below 10. It's hard for me to really see this team and have much confidence in them. In Trenton, the only great scorer on this entire court's going to be Nathan Ribeiro for Trenton. And do I really see Allentown just shutting him down? No, not really. Unless Coach Andy finds a way to stop Ribeiro, I'm gonna pick Trenton here. I mean, they're gonna have to score more points than they do. I know they spread it out. I know they have an offense that spreads it out, but they just can't. They can't come into NTT playing a team like Trenton, who's ready to win, who's ready to step up, and just kind of goof around with a bunch of bozos out in the court.
You know what, Sam? I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Vincent George is a senior leader. The guy knows how to play defense. I think he can, and I think he will shut down Nathan Ribeiro. Yeah, you mentioned that no one's scoring above 10 points, but look at you got 3, 4 players on that team, including one on the bench that's averaging over 9 points a game. I mean, this team's averaging 86 points a game per contest.
In the NTT, Kyle, you can't spread out like that. You need to have someone who you can go to when it's crunch time. You do, and they don't have a go-to player right now. I just don't see it.
I am not saying they do, but I don't think that they stand a chance against Trenton. I mean, I don't think that Trenton stands a chance against them.
Well, hey, I picked Trenton.
To be honest,
I picked Trenton here.
Well, I'm picking Allentown.
All right,
we're gonna move on. Next matchup, we got Roswell against Jersey City. What a game here!
Yeah, well, this Roswell team is not the same without Purvis Davis and Kish. These are seniors who graduated last year. Kish scored almost 20 a game. Purvis Davis came 6'11" center who really just dominated the game. So, hey, they made it to the NDT. They actually beat in the preseason the number 1 seeded Shreveport. So that's interesting to see him in the same bracket here. But you know what? Beside the fact, I think Shreveport's a little bit overrated, but they've dropped only 2 games, but you know the only 2 games they've played. The only 2 games they've lost, excuse me, were the only 2 games they've played in the entire regular season. They've played some 9-9 teams, but their 2 losses are to Tucson and Carson City. I believe they're both solid programs, and they did beat both of those teams in the conference tournament, but they just haven't shown me much. Kyle or Jorge.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that you can't teach height. They got a 6'11", 6'9", and a 7'1" guy starting. 2 of those guys are seniors. They are just absolutely demolishing teams on the board of a average of 14.5 rebounding margin per game, which is just amazing. And they even got young talent that's high. I mean, I'm gonna have to take Roswell over a weak Conference 1 team.
I'm gonna agree with you. They're coming off a tournament championship. Jersey City is a lot like Roswell, just shorter. I think they're gonna be able to get the job done and maybe even have an easy game against a 13 or a 14 seed in the next round. So we'll see how this works out for Roswell here.
All right. Moving on, we have the Ames Red Razorbacks against the Reading Railroad. Sorry. What do you think about this one?
Ames, I think, is one of the most underrated teams in this entire tournament. Jorge, they have great scorers. They have great defenders. Each guy has a job in this team. They have Zachary Wesner, who I think is incredibly key to their success. Because if you look at this team, other than Wesner, none of the players are taller than 6'8". I think Lamar Johnson is going to be able to shut down the player over there in Lawrence Bird. He's an all-star. He's a superstar. He'll get his touches. He'll get his shots. But it's absolute. It's the Johnson Bird matchup. The last time we saw Johnson Bird was back in the Lakers Celtics days.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this one goes here.
Dating back to the old Michigan State, Indiana State rivalry there.
It's true.
Just great to bring back those memories.
But I think Ames is going to take the upset. I think Benny Bruce is one of the best players. I could say top 10 players in the game this year.
Agreed.
Yeah,
he's a nightmare for most teams. Like, the guy can score, and score he does. Like, He doesn't take no for an answer. He's shooting an incredible 58%.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is just amazing. It's nothing short of incredible what he's done, and yeah, I really like Coach Shug and his Ames Red Razorbacks here.
Yeah, I agree.
Moving on to the final matchup, we got Reno against the Manassas Onslaught. Manassas obviously brings back memories for me. I used to play there, being Jorge Dixon, and everything. Yeah, and I just am amazed to see what Coach V started there and what Bear 2 is trying at least to continue on.
Yeah.
What do you think about this matchup?
Kyle, I just have a hard time picturing any of the Manassas players to stopping Willie Rednor. I really do. I think Willie is. I mean, I know I might say this a lot. I might say that he's one of the best players in the league. I've said it probably 3 or 4 players this bracket. But Willie Rednor is so talented because he's the kind of guy who, whoever you put on him, I feel like whatever defender, he's gonna get his buckets. He will. Back in the Inferno, Reno. Sorry, maybe they didn't play Rockford, but whoever they played, you saw time and time again. The opposing team sticking their best defender on Riddenor, and he'd still come up with 25 a game. I just don't see. It's going to be a good one. Manassas is a great team. They have some great talent. Their coaching's questionable, but in the MTT, you need to have great coaching along with your great talent.
Yeah, I agree. Reno's a 2 seed, and there's a reason they're a 2 seed.
It's true.
They're a great team. They were basically undefeated up until the final game against Fresno, which they lost.
And I think that shows their true colors right there. The game against Fresno, they lost by 14 points, and that's about the talent level that I believe this team's at.
All right. Well, that concludes the first round of the Northeastern bracket.